What's going on? So I'm gonna say this about the NBA's parity because I was getting on it. The thing about it is that for all the movement that LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard did, James Harden and Paul George, if you think about it, they all ended up going to franchises where it was major markets, but end up being that the parity worked in the sense that by their movement, it actually worked in concert with what the NBA actually wanted. Let me explain. So when Durant went to Brooklyn, teamed up with Kyrie and Harden, they went to a big place. Think about it. Harden went to Philly, which after he left, Durant went to Phoenix, which is on the map, and Kyrie went to Dallas. Think about the name of the places. They did not go. What I'm getting at is this: they didn't go locate to Atlanta. They didn't go locate to Sacramento. They didn't locate to New Orleans. You see, all these places that are in place has had teams that have had some forms of success where they've been to the finals and stuff. They did not go long. They did not go places that weren't considered on the map. They what I mean by that is that it ended up rolling where the parity when the guys didn't meet their type of success, other places it actually backfired, but actually worked in Adam Silver's hand in a twisted way. Because LeBron has attracted people to LA, but the Lakers have not been a dominant team. Durant did land with Phoenix and all that, but they've not been a dominant team, but they had notoriety. So these things have actually, and Kawhi Leonard, when Kawhi traded from San Antonio to Toronto, and he ended up picking the Clippers. Well, you've seen how his Clipper life has been as opposed to his life with Toronto and his life with San Antonio. So they, in part, in a twisted way, pushed the parity narrative. And in some ways, their player so-called empowerment movement, one of people who have a problem with it are going to say they get to form teams and all that. In a way, and it is truth to that, but then there's also another truth. It also benefited Adam Silver's agenda because they did not succeed per se with their so-called movement. Now Durant obviously went to Golden State and he won, but what has he been post Golden State? LeBron's heyday and peak was really between Miami and Cleveland. The bubble ring, he did get it playing tournament, but he ain't been the same guy that he did in that previous. Think about it. Kawhi Leonard, one in San Antonio, went to the finals, etc. One in Toronto. What has his Clipper life been? Just think about it. Look at what this happened. Look at James Harden from pillow to post and nothing to show. Paul George, pillow to post, nothing to show. There's a particular era of guys that movement did not mean championship success, especially as they got older. All it did was that it opened up movement, but it didn't land where it's supposed to land. So in a way, this is a situation that if you are looking at the commission, if you're looking at what Adam Silver is pushing, they help push the parity ball because everybody ends up doing the same thing, but it doesn't relate into wins. It doesn't relate into championships. It's a very twisted situation that we're in. So in a lot of ways, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard's movement is the reason why you have parity basketball in a real twisted way. It's kind of you have to like kind of study it, but where they done that movement constantly, it got kind of wore off. So while people accepted the movement, they also begrudgingly took it. It didn't exactly, mean the same thing. Once it got past the initial, it didn't. Because who is exactly benefited from it? And now with the way the guys are set in place, they can't get out of it. Not so easily. And where can they go? And they're too old now to form and win. So that ship then sailed. So when you see where they are and what has happened, it's not an instantaneous situation. Like Klay Thompson waited too late to get away from Steph. So we'll never know what that may have been like had he been able to bounce from that. But you see where a lot of it, in any words, where you're better off being traded or with your free agency because now there is not that situation where you're winning. You're not winning. It looked like you were, from your book, your bank account, what have you. But they're not able to bring in because everyone's doing the same thing. So they, in part, actually played into the hands of what the NBA wanted because they created a parity that, had they kind of stayed in places and whatnot, we would have probably had some interesting battles. They actually played into when Adam Silver was excited about parity over the last few years. Those guys' movement actually enabled it in a twisted way. And if you look around, think about it. Two guys in LA and they can't win. Other guy in Phoenix with Durant, he can't win. They all kind of labeled near the same places. Harden in LA, can't win. Paul George was in LA's in Philly. But you see where this is going. These guys ended up helping up Adam Silver's agenda because it ended up becoming parity. And now you see how it's unfolded. And now they look like they're done. So I thought about this and talking about their movement actually pushed the NBA parity agenda in a twisted way. But tell me what you think. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.